guys, welcome back to my channel. I am finally back. I'm so excited to be back filming videos. Last year I did a couple of videos, then I had a little hair situation and I was like, you know what, we're done. I'm not about to film anymore. But this year we're about to be consistent. My schedule is to upload once a week and that will be on Thursdays. So make sure that you put your notification bells on and all of that jazz. I don't even know the lingo because I'm new to this. But I'm excited to start my channel. No, not start my channel, I've already started. I'm excited to be consistent with my channel. So basically I wanted to do my makeup today and talk to you guys about how I started Makeup Addiction, about my journey, because I get a lot of questions about how I started, because my journey was shared on the news, how I started with fibromyalgia, and basically I wanted you guys to hear the story basically from my mouth, straight from the horse's mouth, and do my makeup at the same time. So I've got my coffee here in hand as usual. Like, if you don't like coffee, then we just can't be friends, okay? I'm just saying. No, I'm kidding. We can be friends, but then we can't have like coffee dates, and I love coffee way too much. My skin is moisturized and I'm gonna go straight into my primer, and I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Step 1 primer. I love this primer, absolutely amazing if you have oily skin. I started Makeup Addiction back in 2012. I was in the middle of doing my PGCE, which is, in England, it's called a Postgraduate Certificate of Education. I had just finished university. I had done my bachelor's degree in applied psychology and sociology. And I was looking for jobs in London to be a management consultant, and it was the start of the recession then. So there were no jobs available, and I was like, you know what shall I do? Shall I study more? I could teach English and Spanish because English is my first language and I speak Spanish as well. And basically I thought, let me do my degree. Let's study some more, okay? So in the middle of me doing my PGCE, I basically fall ill. Like literally 3 weeks before I was due to graduate, I was terribly ill. Like, I was in the middle of a restaurant with my husband. We lived in Hove and we were eating lunch. Then we walk outside and all of a sudden I feel like these spasms and pains on my sides, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I literally couldn't walk all the way home. He had to carry me home. Luckily the restaurant was really close to where we lived. So I went to the GP and they checked it, he prodded and poked, and I was like, it was like, maybe it's your kidneys. And basically it was, oh my God, it's literally, I couldn't walk. I finished seeing the GP, I was already in a bad state, and after he prodded, it was even worse. I remember being outside the surgery and literally sitting on the floor like, oh my God, I am in so much pain. My husband came, he picked me up, got me home. And then the whole journey started of doing tests, trying to figure out what was wrong. I started getting like muscles. I need to do my makeup because I'm talking way too much. You know, apply my primer. Let me apply my powder, and I'm going to use the MAC Dark Deep. So basically, and my Wet Skin Perfecting Sponge, Makeup Addiction, of course. And what was I saying? So basically, I started getting really bad makeup spasms. Oh my goodness, I can't multitask. I started getting really bad spasms, literally all over my legs, my back. It was horrendous. The pain was just way too much, so they thought it might be neurology related. So I was referred to a neurologist, and I was going back and forth in and out the hospital, Hertford Park specifically. I remember the hospital name. And I was literally just in and out of the hospital. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. They were like, you know, maybe it's something with the nerves. And I was having just loads of tests and blood tests, just never ending. And then I was hospitalized, I think twice as well. And in that time, while in hospital, bored with nothing else to do, I remember this other patient, she had lupus. I think fibromyalgia is, well, now you know that I already have it anyway, but at the time we didn't know. It's pretty similar to lupus, but without the autoimmune disease. So it's more the invisible disease is what they call it. When they don't know what it is and you have symptoms very similar to lupus, then it's generally fibromyalgia. Anyway. So I started watching YouTube videos. I was watching Nitra B, Destiny Godly, who else was I watching? Makeup Doll. And I was basically learning how to apply makeup because I loved makeup, but I was no expert at it or anything. Now I'm going to use my Nars Caledonia. This is like my favorite foundation at the moment. The coverage is amazing. and it's literally like my skin. I'm gonna use 3 pumps. Yeah, that's enough. 3 and a bit. Basically, yeah, I'm at the hospital. I was like, you know what? Let me learn how to apply makeup. So I started to learn to apply makeup when I got home. And mind you, by this time, they still didn't know what was wrong with me 100%, because it's after I think it's after the second time I was in hospital. They referred me, I think, to a neurologist who diagnosed me with fibromyalgia. They were like, okay, we know what it is. Now how do we fix this? Like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make me better? So yeah, so when I got home, by this time I was still walking using crutches. I didn't mention about the walking, so I wasn't able to walk properly. I was a perfectly well, healthy young girl. I was 24. I'm 33 now, and I was fit. You know, I was fine. All of a sudden, I can't walk, and I'm walking using crutches, 2 crutches. It was pretty horrendous. Like, my legs were so weak. I remember I was just talking to my husband the other day. We were in the car. He was like, "Oh, do you remember when you couldn't stand from a chair?" And I was like, "What?" Like, I have a terrible memory. His memory is amazing. Like mine, I swear, I always say I've got like young dementia. I don't even know if that exists, but I've got a pretty bad memory. But I was like, oh my God, yes, I couldn't stand up from a chair. So for instance, now I'm sitting on a chair. I couldn't do this, for instance. I was like this, literally like an old lady. It was pretty bad. So basically, yeah, so we get to the neurologist finally diagnosed, and I was watching YouTube tutorials and everything, and I was like, okay, right, I need brushes to apply my makeup, because obviously everybody's using brushes on YouTube, and all the ones they were chatting about were like MAC brushes and Sigma and all of that. And I was like, wow. Went to MAC and I was like, £25, £30 for a brush. I was like, I'm not working, so £30 is a bit like pricey for one brush. The business person that I am, like, I feel like I'm a natural, like I'm a born business person. Like when I was like 8 years old, I had a business where I was selling sandwiches in Senegal. We used to live opposite a military camp, and basically there was an opportunity to sell sandwiches to all of the soldiers. So the soldiers, they weren't like a war, it was like a camp. So they would come out at lunchtime and they would buy sandwiches, and I'd have freshly made sandwiches with my maid who'd make like chicken. I'd have some chips, some salad, and I was selling it. Like literally I had a whole business set up when I was 8 years old. And obviously I had an adult, a maid helping me, because we have maids in Senegal, they're like housekeepers. Yeah, so I had a whole business. So like I'm naturally a business person. I was like, okay, there's an opportunity here to make some quality makeup brushes for a good price, because the drugstore ones, Superdrug, were of terrible quality, and the ones like MAC were way too expensive, out of reach for the average person. I basically started doing my research, and then I created my first set of 6 bamboo brushes. These were eye brushes, and let me see if I've got any of them here. I think I might have. So this is one of them. It's like, I think it was called the Essential Set. So I had the 6 set of bamboo brushes. And they were literally amazing. They were synthetic hair, vegan. Look, I've been blending for about half an hour. Oh my God, like doing my makeup and talking is actually quite hard, because I just want to talk. Talk too much. I'm using the NYX Cant One Stop concealer in Deep Expresso. Here we go. I'm just gonna contour a little bit. You know what? I might bring this mirror a little bit closer, because your girl's a little bit blind over here. Basically, yeah. So I created the first set of 6 eye brushes, and I basically discovered its Instagram from a friend of mine who was well into social media and stuff. Like, I've never been into Facebook and all that jazz. I just don't have time for it. Actually, in fact, I'm not a huge fan of social media in general, but I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, she was like, oh, you know, I found this new app, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I checked it out. There was loads of images, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then I found some makeup artists there, and like the first people to ever review my brushes were like Laura Aureliano, Mac Daddy, Viva Glam K, Mickey Pizzy, I think Trede. I remember the first like 6. I sent it to them. They absolutely loved the brushes, and this was like in 2012. Like, they loved the brushes, and basically by the time I had launched the brushes were all sold out. Like, the first set was sold out Everyone was loving it, raving about it. I literally took Instagram by storm, and this is just me, myself, and my husband, who was helping pack orders and stuff. So yeah, so I created the first set of 6 eye brushes, and then once I sold like literally thousands and thousands, I was like, okay, right, let me go move on to the face brushes, and did the face brushes, and that did on really well. And then I went on to create a whole like 63 probably brushes that we have now, because I love brushes too much. I'm like, brushes are so important. You can't apply makeup without having the right tools. Right, for concealer, I'm going to use the Kat Von D concealer in D35 Neutral. I love this colour, perfect if you're my skin tone. I've been using this for years now, and as soon as I run out, I have to go back and get it. It's pretty thick, so you don't really need a whole lot unless you like your concealer to be kind of looking a bit cake. Use a little bit, use a wet sponge, and blend that baby out. After I was diagnosed, I basically went to Senegal. My mum was like, you know what? You need to come to Senegal. I went to Senegal and I stayed there for 2 months. 2 or 3 months, I think it was. I was like, let's try and see if we can heal you traditionally, because by then I was having loads of medication. See, I just jumped from subject to subject. Anyway, from then I was having loads of medication. I remember having like gabapentin, diazepam. These are muscle relaxants. Like literally, if I told you how slow I was so slow, because obviously it's a muscle relaxant. It just relaxes you. I was just like, just chill, just zen, like almost just on drugs. Like, it was horrendous. Oh my goodness. My poor husband, we had just gotten married as well. Can you imagine? Like, we got married in February, and in March, April, May, June. I think in June I fell ill, because I was due to finish my PGC in like July. I was 6 weeks off. Yeah, and kind of June I fell ill. So you can imagine, you just get married and a few months later you're like full-time looking after a whole wife. Wow, 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 wow. Thinking about it, yeah. My husband is amazing, to say the least. Like, I remember him like putting my socks on because I couldn't bend over, helping me get dressed. Whew. When I think about it now, it kind of makes me a bit emotional, because I'm like, wow, like I've come a long way. I've got 2 whole legs that I can walk and run with, you know. Just be grateful, guys, because you never know what could happen in life. If anyone would have told me that you'd all of a sudden feel, you know, fall ill, and no one would even know what would be wrong with you, then I'd be like, yeah, whatever, like that would not happen, not you know, I'm not under my watch. But life, things happen in mysterious ways, and out of that came the blessing of creating Makeup Addiction. I did what I love. I absolutely love creating products. Like literally, I'm a product development junkie, not a product junkie, because I don't collect a whole lot of products, but product development. Like, I love creating products. I love like creating different shapes. Look at all these different brushes. These are all Makeup Addiction. I love like the detail in creating different shapes of brushes, like whether it's more tapered, thinner. Like, I have a real passion for it, and I always strive for excellence, which is the reason why I have been so successful with my brand and have been around for 7 years. And you have all of the big boys, the big brands, looking at this small indie brand who's done amazing things. But you know what, I'm not hyping myself up, but this is something that I had to learn, because I used to be a really negative person about all of my achievements. I used to think, oh yeah, whatever, like what I've done is just, yeah, whatever, it's nothing. But no, it's a lot. I'm proud of it now. So that's taken me some time. But yeah, so that was it with fibromyalgia. And then yeah, so my mum told me, come to Senegal. We'll see if we can heal you here traditionally. She's proper Senegalese. She's like a real Senegalese mum. She was like, okay. I was like, all right then, come on. I'll go to Senegal for 2 months. Obviously, my husband's not gonna disagree with that. He didn't come that year, I don't think. I think it's the year after he came. Anyway, so I went to Senegal, and basically my mum was taking me to loads of different people, loads of traditional healers. Like in Senegal, you have like traditional healers and stuff. So she was taking me to loads of different people. And everyone was like, okay, yeah, you know, we can heal her. Then I tried loads of different things. Like when I tell you, I have been washed in a chicken blood that's been sacrificed. It was horrendous, and I had to sleep with that chicken blood on my whole body the whole night. Wow, like that's a wow. And I think there's two things that attributed to me being healed, because now I no longer have fibromyalgia, and this is a miracle in itself, because people who have fibromyalgia have it throughout their whole lives and suffer with it. And I am so grateful that I can live a normal life and not be ill, and not have pain, like throughout pain all over my body, have shooting pains down my legs. I couldn't even, like, when the washing machine used to go off and like it would spin, you know, like towards the end of the cycle, that would make me spasm so badly. I'll literally be sitting on the sofa, like clinching onto my chair like this in agonizing pain because it was spinning. You could feel it like buzzing and going through my whole body. Wow. But anyway, this is how I tell stories. I go back and forth until I get to the end eventually. But so she basically, they said, okay, we'll sacrifice goats, because we do sacrifice animals in Senegal. I am Muslim. I'm not sure if it's a Muslim thing or if it's a cultural thing, but in Senegal we do sacrifice animals, whether it's a goat or a sheep or a cow or a chicken. Like we sacrifice animals, and I think it's like a way of connecting with our ancestors. So, wow, I've never talked this deeply about stuff. But anyway, yeah, so I was basically tied to a goat, and I do not like animals at all. Like, I don't like touching them, the fur and all that. I'm like, I can't do it. But I had to just basically agree. I'm not going to say no to my mama, am I? Everybody, you got to listen to your mama. If you're African, Senegalese, you know, like, you don't say no to your mom. You just say, yes, ma'am, yes, mama, and that's it. So basically, I got tied to a goat, and the goat, either the goat died naturally or was it sacrificed? I think the goat, no, I think it was sacrificed after. So I was tied to a goat. I had to be tied like with a string, lying next to the goat, and the goat was really still. Yes, this is what I remember. Oh my God. Okay, so the goat was really still the whole time. This sounds so mental, but because like when you live in a Western society, these kind of African things sounds really strange, but I'm very, like, I'm Senegalese at heart, 100, 1000%. So for me, it's like, okay, that's just normal to me. But it might sound weird to like some people out there. Like, even my husband sounded weird to him, but obviously he's married to me, so it's like normal to him now because he's used to it. Yeah, so I was tied to the goat, and then the goat was really still the whole time. You know, goats move a lot. Like, imagine a goat being tied to a human. So apparently, I think what happened is the goat took my illness away with him. And sorry guys, I'm back. My battery had died. No, not the battery had died. It was transferring because it stops at 20 minutes. Whatever. This whole technology thing is all new to me. But anyway, I was tied to the goat, and the goat was really still. And then the goat was sacrificed after. So I was still having my medication. When I was there in Senegal, still the gabapentin, diazepam, which is something I could not live without for months. I couldn't like go a day without having my medication. I had to have it consistently. If you didn't have it, that was it. Muscles was spasming like crazy, like you couldn't even function. I wasn't working obviously then for anyone. That's when I started my business. But anyway, oh, I'm using a Gosh Intense eyeliner pen in brown, and before that I used the NYX brow pencil in brunette, and I like to use this to kind of finesse the ends of my brow because I feel like I've been doing this step recently and I really like it. But yeah, so I was tied to the goat, and then the goat was really still, and then the goat was sacrificed after, and I was still taking my medication. I came back to England, and I think it was probably like a week to 2 weeks in, Mum was like, you know what, you need to stop taking your medication because we know if this is going to work. And I was like, Mum, I can't go without my medication. This is really scary. And I was like, okay, you know what, let me just step into faith and stop taking my medication. And then I did. The first day I was petrified. I was like, oh my God, like I'm literally not taking my medication. Like, what is going on? And I felt fine. Like, I felt normal because I started feeling better by the time I was coming back. Because I'd stayed there, did the goat thing and all of the traditional stuff, and maybe was there for another like couple of weeks, and I was feeling normal. I was going out, I was seeing my cousins, I wasn't using my crutches, and I was like, okay, like this seems like something's happening. I'm obviously feeling a lot better than I was before. And when I came to England, I was like, Mum, let me just keep taking. She's like, no. I was like, all right, let me step into faith and let me just stop taking my medication. I stopped, and I was fine. Literally, no spasms, nothing. The illness just like that vanished, disappeared. Just like it never even existed. So I even went to the physio because I was doing physio as well. Oh my God, my story's all over the place. Anyway, I was having physio like once or twice a week because they were trying to rehabilitate my rehabilitate me. So I had to kind of learn how to kind of strengthen my muscles because I was really weak. Like I couldn't push. Like literally I was really weak and frail, like literally like a 100-year-old lady. So I was going physio, and the physio was like, oh, you seem like you're getting stronger and everything. I was like, what have you been? I was like, well, nothing. I've just explained that. It was kind of weird trying to explain the story with the goat and the traditional stuff. So I was like, yeah, just traditionally healed. Not explaining the whole shebang because people would just think I'm crazy, you know? I mean, like, come on, that just sounds crazy. But if you're African or if you do kind of natural stuff, you'll be aware of this and it will make sense to you. But for here in England, it sounded crazy. So I was just like, oh yeah, I was just traditionally healed, just went to Senegal, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. And I was like, wow. I felt so thankful that I was able to kind of live a normal life. Like, I was like, wow. So I can go back. So basically what happened was I had two choices. After all of this, while this is all happening, I was still running Makeup Addiction. And obviously I wasn't working, so that was my job per se. It was more like a hobby, if anything. And I had two options. It was either to go back, let me do my makeup. It was either to go back and finish my PGCE, because like I said, I literally had like 4 weeks left to graduate and be a qualified teacher, which is a hard course, guys. Because before that, I had done, was it before the PGCE I did my master's? Yeah, or was it after? I have to double check that. My master's doing. No, my master's was before the PGCE. No, it wasn't. It was after. I did my master's after. No, I did it before. So I have a master's degree in business psychology, which I did in London, Westminster University. So I was like, okay, right, so what do I do? Do I try and go back and finish my teaching course so I can be a qualified teacher? I had 4 weeks left to graduate, guys. And then the Sussex University was like, no, you've got to do 6 months. I was like, what? No way. This was like literally harder than the masters. So there's no way I'm doing another 6 months. So I was just like, okay. They were like, well, so you won't graduate then? I was like, but I had 4 weeks left. Literally, I was going to school. I was at Heathfield School, whatever. And I was going there and I was going in with my crutches, like as a training teacher. And they were like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I've got to finish, I've got to graduate. So they had to send me home because I was so determined to finish. I was like, I've gone the whole year. This was so hard and there's only 4 weeks left for me to be a qualified teacher. And you want me to do an additional 6 months because I fell ill and it wasn't my fault. Like, it's not fair. So I just decided to give up. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to pursue my business. And that was the best decision I had ever made because I've had the best few years I could have ever had. I've been working, doing my passion, doing everything I love, creating my brand, developing it, having thousands and thousands of people all over the world use it, having retailers worldwide, and develop something that I truly am passionate about. So I was like, you know what, like, this is the best decision. So sometimes I'm like, wow, what would have happened if I had, if I was teaching, you know? But no, I'm more of a creative person, so that really wouldn't have worked for me, that kind of strict kind of way of living. Although I was great at it, my students loved me and I think I did a great job teaching. It's something that I can probably do in the future if I do want to, but I'm more of a creative person. I enjoy this more. So try to do your makeup and talk. Let me use my favorite primer. This is Lancôme La Noisette 05. This primer here is sobomb.com. I love it. See, this is a Makeup Addiction brush as well. One that I haven't launched yet. I call it like the finger brush, but I will at some point. I think I have so many brushes that I was like, you know what, you gotta stop, girl. Like, focus on more kind of color cosmetics, which I've been doing. But anyway, so that was it. That was the end of fibromyalgia. Just like that, it had gone. I was back to normal. I was growing my business. Me and my husband moved home. We moved to Worthing because that's where his family lives, because all of my family are in Senegal. Well, my sister lives in LA, but my mum and dad and my older brother are all in Senegal, and all my cousins and aunts, and I have a huge family and everyone's in Senegal, so it's just me here in England. And yeah, so I just focused on growing my business. Like, literally, that was my goal, growing Makeup Addiction, and I've grown it and taken tweaks and turns and done so many different things. But I'm so grateful for the journey because it makes me the person I am today. Like, starting my YouTube channel, that's something that I wanted to do pretty much around the same time as when I started creating my brushes and started my brand. So it's like, you know what, it's never too late to start. I'm gonna start my channel and just do, because I enjoy sharing, I love beauty, and I'm just gonna do like a whole lot. You're gonna see loads of stuff on my channel anyway. Like, I'm looking forward to showing you guys like some home stuff, because I love home decor. I'm really passionate about interior design. I'll do like a home series of like different rooms around the house, because there are a lot of rooms. But yeah, it would be quite cool to kind of share that with you guys, because I enjoy it, and I'm gonna share what I enjoy on my channel. Why not? It's my channel, right? So I'm gonna use my Flaming Love palette. This is my very first palette that I created. How cute! This palette was just killing the whole Instagram. Like, I need to bring this palette back. Like, this set the tone for makeup addiction. Literally, like, our brushes were bomb, but when we came with color cosmetics, the heart and soul that goes into creating this, boy, it's no joke. Like, the formula, I'm not even gonna tell you guys, but there's so many big brands, like big multi-billion-pound companies, billion-dollar companies, who have purchased my products on their company names. Like, wow. Just to try and replicate my stuff. Like, you can't replicate a soul. Like, the heart and tears that have been shed creating this, sleepless nights that I've had over this. Like, you can't replicate that. Try all that you like, but it's just not about to happen. But yeah, I need to bring this palette back, basically. Look at how basic. I'm giving it so much abuse now, but it's like, look at the progression. So this is the first palette. I love the 8 pans though. Everyone still loves that, and I probably will bring some like this in the future. But look how it is. It was like just a grey with damask, like an old lady. But it's fine, it's cute, we love it. Like, this is like 6 years old, and look at it. This is probably low, actually it's not 6 years old, it's probably more like 4 years old, because probably is my second palette. But this one, and look at the newer palette, Sinfulized palette, like the new logo, it's smaller. I love the black and white stripes, and this was inspired by my office, which I'm in here now, my home office, and this is what it looks like. It's very dirty, very messy, because I obviously use it a lot, but look at like the progression. Like, sometimes everything is not perfect. Like, even though this was so imperfect, this is still our best selling palette. Like, in it, and I always give it abuse, like, oh my god, look at it. But it's still was the best selling palette ever. The quantities we sold, it's a wow. It's a wow. But yeah, so I'm just gonna apply the shade, Flaming Kisses. I'm basically gonna do one color eye look. I do this a lot. Like, I'm quite lazy when it comes to eyeshadow. I just don't have time to do like 20 million colors. Like, I've got 2 kids. Did I mention I've got kids? Anyway, I've got 2 girls. Ella's a neighbor. They're 4 and 2.5. And yeah, like, when I do my makeup, normally they might be around. They're at nursery at the moment, so I have some peace and quiet. But normally they're around, and they literally do not let me sit still. Like, they will just be all over me. I won't be able to blend properly, so I'll just do one shade, and that's it. Like, literally just like that. Obviously, I'm going to blend the edges a bit more. And I'm using a classic shader brush. This is my favorite shader brush, basically. This is obviously makeup addiction. All my brushes are all makeup addiction, okay? So I don't need to even mention it. Yeah, so here, I'm just applying it all over the lid. What else can I tell you guys about makeup addiction, fibromyalgia? Yeah, so if I can't freaking talk, I've been talking too much. If someone is suffering with fibromyalgia, I would say stay strong. Obviously, not everyone is from Senegal and can go and be traditionally healed, but try and think about more alternative methods to the medication, the drugs, because the drugs are quite addictive. Like, this is something they don't really tell you a lot. Like, I feel like I've been talking for ages. This video is about to be a whole video. Like, I have to cut this up. But anyway, just be mindful of the drugs that you take. See if you can find some alternative traditional methods. I mean, like, you can always hit me up, send me a direct message, email me. It's info@makeupaddictioncosmetics.com. I'll leave it below here as well if you have any questions, or if you would like some advice, or anything like that. So just let me know. And this is also for anyone who, if you want to start a business, let me check really quickly first, up close, make sure that this is blended. Okay, this looks blended. Right, so, oh my goodness, you know what, I baked too much and like my cheek here looks a bit dry. Look here, I've got a little dry patch there. Have I got a dry patch there? Am I tripping? Okay, slightly dry, but it's fine. Like, don't bake too long. That's the moral of the story. Let me quickly just try and finish this makeup because this is about to be too long. So I'm gonna use the Becca Deep Bronze and the bronzing powder, Becca Cosmetics Deep Bronze, which is like a darker shade for contouring, but it's a bronzer, so it's really good if you've got a really dark skin tone. And this is I can't talk. This is more of a reddish brown, and this is Bobbi Brown in Deep 4. So I like to mix these two, and it gives me like the perfect bronzing shade. And I'm using my sculpting contour brush, and I dip into the Becca one first, and I dip into the Bobbi Brown one. And I just kind of give my cheeks a little bounce, you know what I'm saying? There we go. Just like that, you can see. Thank y'all. Yeah, so basically, yeah, if you want to start a business, there's no reason why you can't. Like, I started a business when I was ill, fibromyalgia. Literally, I was on disability allowance. I was disabled, basically. It was pretty bad. I had a disabled badge and everything. I couldn't walk far. So if I can start a business in that situation, anyone can start a business. Don't let anyone, and with no money as well. I only had £1,000. My mama gave me £1,000, and that was it. I invested in my first set of brushes. Then they sold, and every single penny that I had earned, I put it back into the business and invested on more brushes. And then when that sold, more money invested back into the business. It took me probably like a year and a bit before I actually even started taking a salary. Like, I wasn't even taking any money from the business. I was just reinvesting back into it. So what I've built, everything Makeup Addiction, to doing a lot, has been all from me. I've never had any loans, no overdrafts, no nothing. I can sleep at night in peace and quiet knowing that there's not one penny that I owe to anybody. Like, that is a good feeling. I'm not saying that you can't do a business without having a bank loan or anything like that. That's fine to do that, but it's fine to start small and build small. Like, for the longest time I used to beat myself thinking, oh, I could grow faster if I do this, I could grow faster at this. I could do that, but I've taken this route, and this route has worked perfect for me. Like, I have no liabilities. Like, last year was probably the worst year in business for me. I had to move out of my unit, I had to move back home, I had one member of staff, she had to leave and work somewhere else, and I had to start running Makeup Addiction all by myself. And for quite some time, I was like down and depressed about it, and I was like, you know what, girl, you gotta remember where you came from. Like, down and depressed for what? No, you pick yourself back up, you brush your shoulders, and you keep going. Like, there's no reason to stop. Doesn't matter how difficult the situation may be. So that's my advice for you guys. Let me highlight real quick. I'm going to use the Turkish Delight highlighter by Makeup Addiction, of course, as well. Highlighters are pretty bomb, really pigmented, and very finely milled, and they're huge, like way too freaking big actually. It's 12 grams of product. I've had this highlighter for maybe like 4 years, and if you look, it's like there's still half of it in there, and I use it a lot because that's my favorite. Yeah, so, oh, just a little glow, a little or a lot. Let's do a little glow. Oh. See, you see how pigmented this is? Like, this shade, I love it because it goes with all skin tones. I love the name Turkish Delight. My husband's Turkish Cypriot, if you didn't know. So I called it for like Turkish. It reminded me of a Turkish Delight. Oh, look at this side, girl. I'm not trying to glow this much. It's like so pigmented, it's crazy. And normally you see a lot of people do their setting spray, then do the highlighters because it's not that pigmented. Like, I do my setting spray after because it's so pigmented. Just saying. But yeah, so let me just, that's enough glow, isn't it? You know what, let me bring this up here so I can see. Oh yeah, that's enough glow. And I'm gonna apply some to the bridge of my nose. What was I saying? I can't even remember now. This is about to be the world's longest video. Let me kind of like, I think finish my makeup and come back because otherwise we could be here a little while. I talk too much, but hey, I was born to talk. Okay, your girl was born to talk. I'm gonna do my lashes and I'm gonna use Makeup Addiction lashes, of course. I think I did a whole Makeup Addiction tutorial. No, actually I used loads of other products, but I'm gonna use my products. I'm gonna use Extreme Glam. I actually have 3 Extreme Glams in there. Like, I stack my lashes up. There's actually 3 sets of Extreme Glam in there, so I'm gonna use that and then I'll be back, okay? So guys, I actually ended up wearing some lashes that I'm currently working with. So they're not the Extreme Glam lashes, these are some different ones. I absolutely love them. I've worn them about like probably 15 to 20 times now, a lot of times, and they're still intact. I've been using the same lashes and I love how they look. Like, literally these are like my favorite pair now, so they need to come out ASAP. But yeah, what was I talking about? So basically, yeah, so make sure, Vaseline first. I want to apply a little bit. I should have applied that at the beginning. How did I forget? I normally apply at the beginning before I apply my makeup. But because I'm not applying a matte lipstick, this will be okay. But if you're applying a matte, make sure that you block the excess. Otherwise, it's just going to look a hot mess. Yeah, so this video was really long. I'm not actually sure what I've actually talked about. I know I've explained my journey with makeup addiction and fibromyalgia, and yeah, I hope that this inspires you to like get things done and to not let your circumstances define your future. Like, I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of what I'm capable of. Like, literally I haven't, and I've done so much up to now. I'm 33 now. How old am I? 33? Yeah, I turned 33 in September, and I haven't even scratched the surface of what I'm capable of, which is crazy to think. And when you know yourself and who you are and what you want to bring to the world, that's a journey in itself. I've done a lot of 2019 was a lot of self-discovery. I started discovering my spiritual side more, and I never used to be in tune with it. I used to laugh. My husband would be like, oh, he's so spiritual, and he'll say this. I'm like, what are you talking about, babe? Are you crazy? And now I get it. It's like there's this spiritual side of you which is deep inside, and you need to connect with it. Like, my favorite book is Eckhart Tolle. Let me find his book somewhere. Eckhart Tolle, where are you? Oh my God, yeah. There's this book here, Stillness Speaks. Wow, this is a life-changing book. Like, how do I talk about makeup in books? But this is what you're gonna get on this channel. There's a whole lot of life. It's not just a fla. It's yeah. This book was the factor for me that changed things a lot. Like, I had to learn to be still, and in stillness I've heard my voice. I was able to think, and I was able to kind of connect with my inner being. Oh my God, this is getting too deep. But anyway, let's apply some Maybelline lipstick. This is 728 in Honey Beige. This is like old school nude, and it's so pretty. I love it. You know what? It's out too much. Here you go. Yeah. So, you know, like, it's 2020. I hope that my journey inspires you. Like, even starting my YouTube channel, that was something out of my, I'd say, comfort zone, but I'm actually quite comfortable, obviously, as you can tell. But it was something that it was new for me. It was like a whole new chapter, because I had always been behind my brand, behind the scenes. And last year was the year that people discovered and got to know me a lot more. I started being on camera a bit more, and I'm a person who loves to talk. So I don't know what I was doing all of those years behind the brand, creating all of these amazing products, and no one knew who was behind it. So I feel like this journey has led me to here, and I'm excited about my channel. I'm excited about so many different things. I'm excited about my brand and my new brands that I will be creating in the future. Like I said, I'm a born entrepreneur. Like literally the amount of ideas that I have, it's too much without procrastinating, because everything comes in due course. You know, you can't conquer Rome or whatever. Rome was not built in a day, okay? Everything can't be done in one day. Things got to be taken step by step, and you know what? When things are meant to happen, they will happen. So I hope this video, oh, look at this lipstick. Oh, this might be my new, can y'all see this? Can you see this? It's so basically Chesnut by MAC and Honey Beige. This might be my new combo. This is so cute. And I don't need a gloss. Like, I'm not a huge fan of gloss. Like, I just hate wet slop. Like, my lips are already big. Like, they're big and they're juicy. I do not need extra glue just hanging off my lip. Like, don't you think it's a bit too much? I think you need to have a specific type of lip for gloss. If it's just way too, it just droops. Like, and my lip is already droopy. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Oh, let me set some setting spray. This is the Urban Decay De-Slick. And this is what I like to do. So once I've sprayed my setting spray, I go back with my little puff, dip a little bit into my powder. If you have oily skin, I would highly suggest doing this because it makes your makeup last longer. And I will go in like this. Can you see this little area here compared to here? Can you see a difference? Basically, your makeup will last longer. I feel like it's a lot of powder, but if you're trying to get beat and you want your makeup to last, like, I would highly suggest doing this step. And it's only a little bit of powder, it's not a whole lot. It's just enough to kind of melt the setting spray and the powder and lock it into your face. Like, we want this to be unlock, okay? There we go. And I've tried to apply that on my highlighter because I don't want to mattify it, because then it defeats the whole purpose. But you can apply a little bit of your brow. And that's it. That's the finished look, guys. Oh, let me check I'm on focus. That is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a long one, but you know, like the way my brain works, it goes on one thing, then it goes on to the next. But I hope you were able to take something away from it. And I want to do a whole lot of talk through here on my channel. So let me know what you guys want to see. I'm not sure what my next video is going to be. I'm going to plan that out. But I know that next month I'll be doing a lot of home stuff because we're actually renovating the family room, or I'd probably say the girls' play area. And I'm so excited because we're going to have some patio folding doors. The patio is finally getting done. Like, the whole house was renovated, but we didn't really do the outside because the whole inside took so long to do. I was literally like 6 months pregnant trying to get the house fully renovated, decorating it and all that jazz. I was like, outside you can wait for a couple of years, in fact, because Ava's nearly 2.5. So now it's time to kind of finish the outside off and everything will be done, which is amazing. The journey has been so amazing. But anyway, I can't wait for my next video. Let me know what you want to see here on my channel, and I'm so excited that I'm kind of, you know, coming out of my shell. Like, this is exciting. This is exciting. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe. Share it with your friends and just pass it on and just, you know, like, spread the love.